The faster you understand this, the faster you'll be successful in life and do and achieve anything that you set out to. You have to understand we are not bound to any reality in this life. There's no type of reality that we must live because of circumstances or whatever the case may be. Now, I understand for certain people around the world, they're born in certain circumstances that limit them from becoming exactly who they want to be, or even stop them altogether from becoming who they want to be. But you have to find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. You have to find a way to get out of your bondage mentally in order to get out of your bondage physically. In the United States or in any Western country, we have it so great. We can do whatever we want. We have legit freedom to some degree, actual free will, because other places, especially in Africa or even in the South Americas, you got slavery still, you got all types of different things going on where people don't have an actual dream that they can pursue because they're on lockdown. They're being controlled by somebody else. And there's other places as well all throughout the world, but those are the only two that come to mind right now. But when you look at it in that perspective, especially as somebody who lives in the United States or one of these first world countries, you realize, like, damn, what am I bitching about? What am I complaining about? I can do anything that I set my mind to. I have the resources. I have the opportunity. The fact that you're watching this video right now means that you have the opportunity to do basically anything you want. You have some type of disposable income. The fact that you're able to watch this video on a phone, a laptop, and you have internet connection, or even if you don't, even if you're, using somebody else's still, you have the full capacity to become anything that you want in this life. And I never realized how many people have never been told that as kids. I think it's kind of screwed. If your parents or your grandparents or whoever raised you never told you that you could become anything you want in this life, it is actually reality. The thing about it, though, is that you have to put in the time, work, and effort in order to do that. You have to become dedicated, disciplined, driven by whatever your dream is in order to achieve it. It's not just going to happen one day. And for a lot of people, they think coming to America is some great place where we can, shit basically just falls out of the sky. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You actually got to work for it. There are a lot of opportunities, and a lot of them do involve nepotism and the people that you know. But nonetheless, you still have to put yourself in the right positions to get these type of opportunities. Always remind yourself about that, though. The fact that there is no reality on this planet that's going to stop you from your dream. If you have that mindset going into whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, you will overcome all. You will achieve exactly what it is that you set out to do. I love that about this reality, about this world. Even the fact that we're limited to this planet alone, Earth. There's people out here trying to go to Mars. There's people out here trying to do some interstellar travel, go to the moon, go to Mars, go to different planets. So the limitation of the Earth overall is not even stopping people from conquering and going to new and reaching new limits. It's the most amazing thing in the world. And you always need to have that mentality. No matter what happens in my life, no matter what happens, I'm always going to be able to overcome as long as I'm willing to work hard and be disciplined and dedicated enough to achieve it. It's not just social media, but there's so many other things on this planet that have limited us to our beliefs on what we can really do and achieve. But I would say social media is a start, because people get this fulfillment or this sense of self, or I don't know what you want to call it, but this identity that, I'm on social media. I see people doing things, other people are doing things on social media, yada, yada. And it just gives people this sense that they're actually doing something in the real world, but they're actually not. I'll never, ever forget this lesson that my brother told me, or that showed me. There was this one day where I was playing 2K. It was probably 2K15, 2K16, something like that. And I got home from high school. I was playing the game. He came in the room, and the first thing he told me is, "Why are you playing this video game when you can do this in real life?" And at first, my first initial reaction is like, I wanted to say something back to him. But I realized he was right. Like, why am I spending all this time on the game when I can go actually achieve and conquer this in real life? I'll never forget that moment. That changed my life forever about video games. And that changed my life forever about the things that I do for fun that are not real. Like, I'm not building any type of real skill or talent by playing video games. Yes, you can say, if you want to be technical about it, oh, my hand-eye coordination, I'm able to have a faster reaction time because I'm playing the game. But none of that matters. That's all bullshit. Do I really think I'm going to become a professional video game player? I doubt it. That's not something that I really want to do. For some people out there, you can justify their career in playing video games with with those excuses, but in all reality, it's like that's not a real thing. People weren't playing video games professionally going back when. This is within the last 5 to 10 years, maybe even 15 years, and that's fine. Hats off to them. Like, I think that's very cool. But in reality, is that going to get me anywhere? No. Why don't I just go to the park and shoot around for real? Why don't I try to get a pickup game with random strangers at the gym or something like that? Like, it really connected me and made me realize, like, my reality, my perception of everything comes down to what I believe in and what I know and my experiences. Your perception is your reality. Be delusional as you want. Just understand you're going to have to put in the hard work in order to achieve whatever you want. Because at the end of the day, nothing's going to be given to you. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned in life, is the fact that no matter what, we have to work for the things that we want. And so many times I go to the gym when I was in college or on the job, so many people are not willing to do what they have to in order to achieve what they want or get what they want. You know, it's crazy that so many people want to just do the bare minimum and somehow they think that they're going to get what they want. But that's not the reality that we live in. I think the most important thing that people need to understand, like I said before, is that reality has no bounds. Like, there's nothing that's stopping you from achieving what you want. Not even Earth itself is holding people back from doing what they want to do or doing what they need to do. It's crazy. Like, just think about it from the caveman perspective. Could you imagine being in a desolate forest, or I don't even know if that's a thing, a desolate desert or this forest, and all of a sudden having this idea, having this thought of creating fire out of nothing, or this idea of creating electricity out of nothing? Like, it's just, you cannot even fathom that. Imagine being in the desert. Imagine your whole family bloodline just hunting animals and, you know, this and that and trying to get food, hunter-gatherers. One day, somebody discovers fire amongst your tribe. Could you not imagine how that would change the trajectory of not only your life, but your belief system? Like, your belief system is going to change. Like, holy shit, we never even seen fire before. It's not only hot, but it gives off warmth. And, like, there's just so many benefits to this. Like, you couldn't even fathom the amount of life-altering existential beliefs that just derived off the creation of fire or just the discovery of fire amongst people in the tribes way back when. It's crazy as fuck, man. And that's what I'm saying. There's so many things of this life that we don't even know about just yet. Whether it's about ourselves or about our reality in general. Like, there could be aliens, you know, it's a possibility. What if they came down one day, and then what? Our whole life of what we know it is going to change. Religion in itself is going to change. Everything that we believe in is going to change. Like, you know, it's so crazy. And you have to have that belief. Like, I'm not some conspiracy theorist, but you have to have that belief that anything and everything is possible as long as you're willing to believe in it and as long as you're willing to work towards it to discover it or to achieve it. So just remember, there is no reality we are bound to. You make your own reality, no matter what circumstances or situation that you're in. I know for some people, especially living in, well, all over the world, but even in America, you know, you have certain parents or a certain situation where you're being abused or something like that, and it seems like you'll never be able to get out of it, or even just a bad relationship between your siblings. You have to understand, eventually, at some point, you're going to have to take responsibility and accountability for those situations, even though it's not your fault. And you have to get yourself out of those situations. You know, it's easier said than done. I understand that. But you have to do things for you, and you have to make sure you're the priority. Before you can ever give back to anybody else, you have to be able to give back to yourself. The only way that you can support somebody else is by supporting yourself first, so that you can have an abundance and give back to others. It's the most important thing. You know, people want to be too generous these days, and that's fine. But it's like you have to make sure you're supplying yourself first, because people will take handouts as fast as you'll hand them out, and they don't give a damn about who's handing them out. So you need to make sure you take care of yourself first, get yourself out of bad situations, and understand there is no reality that you're bound to in this life. You can do anything and everything you set your mind to as long as you're willing to work for it. Be delusional. That's my belief. But make sure that you're working hard. You know, if you want to become the president, don't just be delusional and think I'm going to become the president one day. No, actually do the work, the grassroots work, everything that you need to do in order to get to that position. Let me know what you guys thought about this video down below in the comment section. From my personal experiences, I'm almost 27. I have realized that I was able to overcome everything, to achieve everything that I ever wanted, as long as I was willing to put in the work and believe that I could do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.